This is the last Sunday before Christmas. Yes, it is. It's the last Sunday before Christmas. And we have our own tradition of the Advent wreath where we acknowledge that the sun is returning and everyone and everything is looking forward to it. So the first Sunday, 3 Sundays ago, we sang this little stanza about the earth wanting the sun to return, and then the plants wanting the sun to return, then the animals wanting the sun to return, and today we are honoring the people wanting us wanting the sun to return on this beautiful altar done by Laurel Wilson. So let's sing our little song.
We light a candle in the dark to greet the newborn sun. The earth turns upon its axis, a new year is begun. A new year is begun. We light 2 candles in the dark to greet the newborn sun. Blossoms reaching to the light, winter's hold is done. Winter's hold is done. We light 3 candles in the dark to greet the newborn sun. Furry beings out from hiding, sleep will soon be done. Sleep will soon be done. We light 4 candles in the dark to greet the newborn sun. People face the lights and praise the angle of the sun. The angle of the sun. The angle of the sun.
And we'll light the white candle in the middle on Christmas morning, to which you are all invited. Now I'd like to welcome anyone who is here for the very first time. We have the members of our newcomer team at each corner here, and they have packets for you, and here's the deal. If you fill out this blue card, which is in the packet, and give it back to one of these ladies, then you have to search for them, after the service. But then you get to mill through all of us, so it's wonderful. If you give us back this card, you will get this wonderful little book, very simplified writing about how to speak science of mind. It's our philosophy made very, very simple. So anyone here for the very first time, just raise your hand and we'll put something in it for you. There's one. Anyone else? Welcome. I'd love to meet you personally. Okay, so you are here at the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. Our vision is still awakening personal transformation, and our mission is teaching tools for positive change, and we do that every single time we come together. Our global vision for this whole year, and actually this is the last time I'm going to say this global vision, because we have one more Sunday in the year and it's going to be taken up with Christmas things. So this is what we did this year that we get to carry forward, and that is a world that works for everyone. We have a little more work to do. You think? You have a little more work to do, and so we're going to carry this forward in a slightly different way next year, but you have to come 2 Sundays from now to see what the theme for 2017 is going to be. So to finish up this one, this is what a world that works for everyone means to me. A world where all races, nationalities, financial statuses, ages, genders, people with differing religions, political persuasions, eating habits, sexual preferences feel comfortable at home, and that they have a reasonable expectation that their needs and the needs of their family and friends can be met and all remain safe. Isn't that a wonderful thing to contemplate? So what I want you to notice is that this, what I've written, what I kind of added to for the last many, many Sundays of the year, spans the realms of the form and the formless, which is exactly what we do. And we're going to go into this in great detail today. But when I say words like comfortable and safe, those are formless qualities of being, that we feel those things. We can't point to them, but what we can point to are circumstances and conditions that remind us, yes, I am comfortable, and yes, I do feel safe. And so in this, we're spirits, of course, spirit taking on the form of flesh, and we live in this world that is infused with spirit. And so when we have a vision like that of a world that works for everyone, it has to do with the formless way of being and feeling, and then the circumstances and conditions that remind us that, yeah, that is how I feel. Of course, the feeling state has to come first, but that's part of the teaching, and we'll get into that. So the theme for December has been the living spirit. Now this is obviously pure formless, and what that means is that the eternal presence that created everyone and everything that we call God is the living spirit, and by creating us, that living spirit enlivens us. The spirit within us and the spirit that God is no different. And so in accepting this magnificent, heart-opening, glorious, expansive, joy-filled idea that is formless, if we really truly accept it, then the forms, the circumstances, the conditions that remind us that yes, we are the living spirit naturally fall forth. But it begins with us knowing that we are the living spirit. So today we are going to talk about the solstice. You know, you probably have noticed that we're not doing a solstice celebration this year, and in a way it's sad. I was sad about that. And the reason that we're not is that I think we're all tired because we didn't get the volunteer enthusiasm that we actually have to have in order to put on a production of that magnitude. So I kind of am folding that into what winter means, because if we're tired, boy, you know, we need to rest. So we're taking a year out. So this Sunday is about the solstice. And the title of my talk is Darkness, Nurturing, and Faith. So last week, we talked about proving the principle of creating our own experience when the darkness, that word darkness, that's an important word for today, when the darkness feels scary, or when the darkness feels like there might be distress there, or separation. And we talked about how proving the principle means that we focus on the living spirit rather than on the conditions that are scary. Today, we're talking about that word darkness. It's the same word in a very different way. The darkness of the solstice is the sacred place of new beginnings. It is symbolized every December around the 21st or the 22nd by the returning light. And it is amazing because the birth of the light is at the darkest time of year. So, you know that I love to travel to the oldest sacred monuments of Britain and Europe, where our ancestors of more than 5,000 years ago built these amazing stone circles and chambered cairns, they're called. And they are all situated to something astronomical. The sunrise, the sunset, the moonrise, the moonset, the Venus. Some of them are associated with the amazing path of Venus across the sky, which you might not know that Venus is the third brightest object in the sky. Sun, moon, Venus. And if you track, as our ancestors did, the path of Venus over years in the night sky, it forms a gigantic star. Isn't that amazing? So our ancestors the only thing we know about them is the stone monuments they left and the chiseled messages in symbols on the stones. And we imagine from learning, just sitting in these stone circles and looking at the night sky over years and years and years and years, we imagine that they were stargazers. In fact, many of the researchers call them that. They call them the stargazers before the Picts and before the Celts and before everybody else, moved into the British Isles, were these people that built the stone monuments and revered the neighborhood, which included the night sky. How wonderful it is for them to have the night sky be so long as it is at the time of solstice. So this is the realm of darkness that we're looking at this time of year. And then nurturing. The darkness is cozy, loving, and embracing. The darkness is the softest place in the universe for new life to begin. On Friday, my son and I went mushrooming. And my hallucinations are much tamer this morning than they were. No. But the mushrooms appear after the rain. And what you do to get the mushrooms is that you stick your fingers down the stalk of the mushroom as far down as you can get so you can get some of the roots, because that's part of how you identify the mushrooms. But the stuff that they grow in, the soil and the years and years of fallen leaves, and it's wet and dark and gooey and nurturing and wonderful. It gets in your fingernails. Well, it was very, very satisfying. I'm just saying that the darkness from which the mushrooms emerge is soft and beautiful. And that's where each one of us started too, in some place really soft and dark and wonderful. And then faith. Faith is the place that we attempt to live now. It's the place where we imagine that some of our ancestors were a little nervous about the sun slowing down and getting lower and lower and lower and having less and less time in the sky as the winter progresses until the solstice. And so this place of a little bit of nervousness, if we still feel that, even today, is very understandable. So a lot of winters, I quote this book, and it was published the first year that I was in ministerial school, which is 1986. And it's published by the Paulist Publishing Company, which means this author is a Catholic mom who went through the holidays of the Christian calendar with her children and speaks about them in a very earthy way. So I love this book because it spans all this stuff that we love. Christmas, solstice, earthy, light. And this is what she writes about this time of year. It is Advent, and along with nature, we are a people waiting. Far out of the south, the winter light comes thin and milky. The days grow shorter and colder, and the nights long. Try as we may, we cannot fully dismiss the fundamental feelings that lie deep at our roots, a mixture of feelings dark and sweet. Will the sun, our source of life, ever return? Has the great light abandoned us? We are anxious from the separation. We know there are vague disharmonies that keep us at odds, but our longing for union is passionate. This year, we want our Christmas to be different. We want to be touched by the season, moved at a level that lies deep in us, and it's hungry and dark and groaning with a primal need. Like the receptive fields lie fallow and waiting, the dark, feminine, elusive quality of our receptivity is not helpless passivity. We are willing to receive the Spirit. We wait to be impregnated. And that goes for everybody. So this feeling of vague disharmonies, I wonder if we have any of those disharmonies about our country, our families, disharmonies about our health, disharmonies about peace in the world. Whatever you came with today, that was that either blaring disharmony or a vague disharmony, that's what faith is about. That's how we nurture faith in this time of darkness, is to know that Spirit is still alive everywhere, and that whatever it is that we need to get us through this time and to get us to the absolute knowingness that the living Spirit is the greatest truth of our being, that's available to us. That's the faith that we grow at this time of year. So the solstice is the perfect intersection between the world of form and the world of spirit. Every single religion started based on the seasons, and so we're right in line with our modern day worship of this season. So here's the quote for today. The quote for today is from this guy named John Ruskin, who is an English philanthropist of the 1800s, and it goes like this. The laws, the life, and the joy of beauty in the material world of God are as eternal and sacred parts of his creation as, in the world of spirits, virtue, and in the world of angels, praise. That syntax is so English, right? But what it means is that the intersection between the world of form and the world of the formless, it's all sacred in God's world. So, you ready to talk about the blessings of the darkness, the intersection of form and spirit? Okay. So it's important for us, I think, to give ourselves as much of the form that our life demands as we possibly can. That means as much time putting your hands in the dirt with the mushrooms as you want, as much time lying in front of the fire and being cozy with the cat as you want, as much time hugging your beloved as you want, so that when it comes to the end of our life, we will not be longing for more form. We will be ready to step into the world of spirit. So, the first blessing of darkness is rest and repair. That's what I think we all need. I think we need to take time to rest. And you know, I've counseled with a number of you about taking time out and resting, because you know what happens. If you don't do what you are nudged to do by God, you get the 2x4, right? And so if you are wanting time to rest, time to recuperate, time to repair, please, please take it. The season encourages that so much. I mean, sometimes I'm in bed before 9 o'clock at night, really. And it encourages us to sleep more. So do that. And that's a spiritual practice, is rest. Okay? Getting to bed at 8:55. That's a spiritual practice. Community and family. There's a lot of celebrations around this time of year that involve community and family. and the joy of connecting one unto another. So this is especially poignant if you don't have family near or if you're not close to your family, and I really realize that. And so it's doubly important for you to figure it out and ask for it. Have family of choice. And if you don't know how to do that, just go into prayer and say, family, I want some more of it. And boy, God will respond. Next is touch and nurturing. I don't know about you, but winter is cuddling time. Yes? My cat knows this. How many are cat people? Oh, look at you. Now, how many kitties sleep with you? How many kitties sleep smack in the middle of the bed and you have only the edges? Yeah, that's because they're snuggling up. They are so wanting that touch because it's cold. How this all works together is the miracle of God. The darkness, the cold, the need for cuddling and touch. Give it to yourself. Now, Suzanne puts up stuff on her Facebook page about the cat place where you can go and cuddle. Cat Town. And where's Cat Town? Downtown Oakland, you can go and cuddle kitties. If you need to borrow a cat, yes? If you need to borrow a cat, they're therapy cats, right? Whether they know it or not, they're therapy cats. Yes, okay. Well, we could go on and on with this, couldn't we? But that's why you need hugs. 12 hugs a day. Don't leave here without getting 12 hugs, all right? Comfort in the mystery. So the great mystery of this realm, of course, is coming in and going out. What a trip that somehow or other our immortal soul chose to come to this earthly realm and clothe itself in flesh for a finite number of breaths. The breaths that we all have can be counted because they come to an end. I did a memorial service yesterday, Alexandra McGuire's mom. And the mystery of how the souls come in and go out is amazing. Now the mystery that the Christian church in this time, of course, is God incarnated as Jesus Christ, came into the world, and there we have baby Jesus. And our teaching is that's the same for each one of us. God incarnated as each one of us. That's the mystery. There is no explaining it. But in this time of darkness, we sort of slip into the mystery and become really, really comfortable with it. And just fill that mystery with gratitude and awe and wonder. And if your precious ones are either coming in or going out now, it's like, wow, what an amazing thing. And then finally, this is the time of the growth of faith. For all of the reasons that I've said and so much more. Whatever is that vague disharmony in each of our lives, with the faith that all is well, that this earthly realm is proceeding exactly the way it should. The planet is going around the sun exactly as it should. Our soul is on its path exactly as it needs to be. This is the faith of this season. So I have another bunch of wonderful teaching for you, and that is this sacred symbol that I love so much, the Celtic cross. This has everything we need to know about the season, about life, about everything. So very, very briefly, and by the way, if you want more in-depth information, it's in my book. Lots and lots about this. So this is the north, this is the east, this is the south, this is the west. This is a calendar. This is the springtime, this is the summertime, this is the fall, and this is where we are right now, right there at the winter. So what happens in this amazing time is that, and let me give you the title of this here, The Blessings of the North. So in the north, it's really good calendar-wise when we're in the north to do the north things. Like, it's really good to rest when you're here, because here, the energy of the world is so vibrant, and the energy coming up out of the soil is so vibrant, you can't rest. You have to plant. So, much better to get your resting done here. So, this is the area also. The north is the area of the ancestors. This is the area of the sunrise, new beginnings, yellow, mental. This is the area of fast growth, passion, heat, red, energy. This is the energy of slowing down, harvest, emotions, endings. Then this right in here is the time of the mystery. Getting darker, 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 darker. We contemplate the souls that have left us because they all turn into our ancestors. So I wanted to read a little bit from John O'Donohue, who has a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful section on death at the end of this book, Anam Cara, which is his first book. But listen to this. It's absolutely about the intersection of form and formless. Space and time are the foundation of human identity and perception. We never have a perception that does not have each of these elements in it. The element of space means that we are always in a state of separation. I'm here, you are there. Even the person that you are closest to, the one you love, is still separate from you. That is the poignancy of love. Two people become so close that they really want to become one, but their separate spaces keep the distance between them. In space, we are always separated. The other component of perception and identity is time. Time separates us too. Time is primarily linear, disjointed, and fragmented. All of your past days have disappeared, they vanished, and the future has not yet come. All you have is the little stepping stone of the present moment. When the soul leaves the body, it is no longer under the burden and control of space and time. The soul is free. Distance and separation hinder it no more. The dead are our nearest neighbors. They are all around us. Now, isn't that the most gorgeous thing you've ever heard? Your precious ones, your ancestors, are here. They're right here with us. So that is a blessing of the north. The next one quickly is the earth and her children. So each of these directions has an element. This is air, this is fire, this is water, and this up here is the earth, the firmness of the earth, and everything that comes from the earth. You know our bodies come from the earth. You know it's the chemical makeup of the sea. The bones are the stone. The bones are the stones. All of that. We are of the earth. And so are the kitties, and the grass, and the mushrooms, and the creepy crawlies, and the winged ones, the leafy ones, the crystalline ones. They're all children of the earth. Also, the gift of the north is firmness and security. This is the time. This is why we rest. Because in the north is earth, slow moving, steady, firm. Ugh, we're here in the north. As opposed to the summer where we're flying around and fiery. But this is steady, secure, steadfast, firm. This is where you are anchored to the earth. And if you are confused or nervous, go and sit on the ground and get the blessing of the earth. And then finally is the rebirth out of the place of darkness. So this is the mystery. Out of the firmness, out of the place of the ancestors, out of the place of darkness and softness and firmness, comes the most ephemeral, brilliant, tender, new beginning, the birth of the light. Before we even know what we're going to do with this light, there's that new life from seeming death. So the question for us this solstice, which is 2:44 a.m. on Wednesday morning, but this is now the solstice time. And actually solstice means the sun stands still. So it looks like the earth, the sun, does not change its angle or its arc for like 3 days. Take some time in rest to ask yourself, what is the light birthing in me? What is the life that is in me that wants to be born for the world? However you want to say it for yourself. This is the sacred time of new beginning. And although we can have a new beginning at any time on the calendar, this is the time that has the energy of the solar system, of the heavens and the earth supporting us. So happy solstice, my loves. The next time we are together will probably be Christmas or after. I love you very much, and there you go. So here are the spiritual principles that we talked about today. The first one is, new life emerges from seeming death. It always happens. Death is an illusion. There is always a new beginning. And the next spiritual principle is all realms support us. The realm of form, the realm of spirit, always supports us. And the spiritual practice that I am begging you to do is this. Love the sacred darkness and be loved by it as well. So for the inner work, I have another blessing for you from the Irish mystic John O'Donohue. Please return to your heart of hearts. Blessed be the longing that brought you here and that quickens your soul with wonder. May you have the courage to befriend your eternal longing. May you enjoy the critical and creative companionship of the question, who am I? And may it brighten your longing. May a secret providence guide your thought and shelter your feeling. May your mind inhabit your life with the same sureness with which your body belongs to the world. May the sense of something absent enlarge your life. May your soul be as free as the ever-new waves of the sea. May you succumb to the danger of growth. May you live in the neighborhood of wonder. May you belong to love with the wildness of dance. And finally, may you know that you are ever embraced in the kind circle of God. Blessed be.